Welcome to Folding Towels, a podcast for massage therapists with Jackie and David. If you are enjoying our episodes and want to support the production, consider buying us a coffee. Your contributions help us bring you more insightful discussions and expert interviews. Follow the link in the show notes or visit buymeacoffee.com/Folding Towels podcast to contribute, and thank you for your support. Hello and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Folding Towels podcast with Jackie and David. Hello Jackie, how are you?
Hi David, I'm pretty good actually at the moment. Yay!
You've had time in nature.
I did, yes. We went on our annual camping trip to the countryside and it was very stressful because we actually camp. We sleep in a tent and do all the things that accompany sleeping in a tent. So we have to pack the tent, lug it in the car, set up and unpack and do all the things. But it was just wonderful sitting by the river and looking at all the beautiful gum trees and looking up at the stars at night. And it was just really, it was very, very lovely.
I have an Australian question for you, Jackie.
Uh-oh, yes.
How's the serenity? So much serenity.
There was so much serenity. Yes. Yes. It was good. Yeah, it was really good. Probably the biggest negative of going camping, and we were at a campsite with facilities. So there's like a shower block and the toilet block and there's a camp kitchen and all those things. And that's what we go for. We go for the facilities and we go for the pool and the swimming and the water park they have, and all the kids hang out and it's a lot of fun. But the worst part is probably the 3 a.m. walk to the toilet in the dark.
Yes.
And it's not just a very short trip down the hallway. It's like past about what would be about 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 houses.
And everyone knows where you're going.
Well, hopefully they don't, because at 3 a.m. they should all be asleep. But yeah, every now and then you're like, someone else coming back from the toilet. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a great time and the serenity was amazing. It was beautiful. So
yeah, it looked awful. I say in a very loving way because I wish that I was there.
I know. I
love the river so
camping.
much. I do love camping. I love the river so much.
Oh, it was beautiful. You should come next year, David. You should.
Yeah, we'll have to get it in the diary.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, how are the mozzies?
Actually not very bad this year. I am one of those people that throws up welts everywhere from mosquito bites, and I'm the first person to get attacked by the mosquitoes. And I have only just now, at the end of summer, because it's the end of summer in Australia, got any mosquito bites on my body at all. So I didn't have any from a couple of weeks ago when we were camping. Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah, amazing.
How are you, David? What's been happening with you?
Look, it's been a big week, as you know, Jackie.
Yes.
We had some sad news this week. My faithful companion passed away. My dog, who's been with us for 15 and a half years, and MacGyver, his name has been a central part of my massage business for the last 10 years. He had his little seat out the front of my practice. I know that pets in businesses can be a little bit controversial for those who aren't pet people. My opinion on that is if people are expecting to see an animal, then that's okay. If they're not, then you probably need to make them aware of it. But he was very good as a therapist. He would come and sit next to me during stressful times. He would melt people as they came through the door. You could see the baggage fall off their shoulders, and he had a very good innings. But even though you know that hard time is coming, it's not an easy time. So that's been this week of readjustment and talking to all the people who are either asking where he is because they didn't know, or passing on their sympathy.
You also work from home, David,
I do,
as well. You have like a granny flat situation. So you could just let him out the back door for to go back home.
Yes, well, he
So
sat in my studio, and at lunchtime we'd
yeah,
go up to the house and we'd have lunch together as a working
yes,
lunch. And
yes,
those early days of the massage business, where the sound of crickets was quite prominent, we would sit on the back deck and we'd chat with each other. And
yeah,
yeah, it was. I'm missing him a great deal.
yeah. I
Yeah,
bet. Oh, he was beautiful. He was
yeah.
such a gorgeous dog.
One of our very early episodes of this podcast was around massaging when you just don't feel it, feel up to it. It was episode 20 called "Can You Feel It?" Managing your emotions a bit, and we talked about how sometimes we get some pretty big feelings, and how do you manage that as a therapist, as a touch-based therapist, and when we have to hold space for others, that we do experience things, real things, just like our clients do, and to give yourself the space that you need to. So I did take a little bit of time off work, but
Oh,
at the
that's good.
same point, we have mortgages to pay and all those sort of things. So there is a point where you have to just get back into it and manage things the best you can. And our clients know and respect that we're humans too, and they want to
Yeah.
know that we're doing okay.
That is so true, especially if
Yeah.
you have some amazing clients that come in often or they've been coming for years. You
Mm.
get to know them and they get to know you as well. And of
Yeah.
course, like if you have an animal that passes, they're going to be understanding and feel that sadness with you. So
Mm.
he
Yeah.
was much loved, David. He
He
was.
certainly was.
Yeah.
I don't think he expected, and we certainly didn't expect for him to touch as many people as he did. And certainly coming out of a bit of a yucky workplace over 10 years ago, he was very important to me for a level of my own therapy and companionship. And he provided a lot of healing and therapy to those that he interacted with, the thousands of people who came through my door in that time.
Pets can bring us so much joy and help alleviate some of the sadness and those bigger emotions that we have. Pet
Mm,
therapy is a thing. It is
yes.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If we could choose the end, though, like across cultures, you see these, so you don't see, but you hear these weird and wonderful stories about how sort of prophetic figures uh, passed into the next life. And I see one of those cool ones was Elijah, who was carried away in a chariot in a whirlwind. And I think that would have been a really cool way to see him go, is to get into his little chariot and to disappear up into the sky rather than
oh my God.
yeah, watching those last few days.
Oh, that is funny. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I remember when my baby passed away a couple of years ago. I'm a cat person,
Yeah.
and she was very unwell, but we didn't realize how unwell
Yeah.
and had taken her to the vet.
Mm.
And the vet was not as forthcoming with, hey, look, sorry, this is the end, as
Yeah.
I would have hoped, because I do prefer a bit more direct conversation than ambivalence.
Mm.
And I just laid in bed with her for 2 or 3 days and
Yeah.
just was with her. And it was horrible, but it was also wonderful. And
Mm.
like having animals is just such joy
Yeah.
and so much love. So much love. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So death is one of these things that can't be avoided. A lot like taxes,
Mm.
like they get us all at some point in time. And having seen elders in our family go through that dying process, and death can take a very long time. And it's a bit of a cruel thing to watch in humans, for those who can sometimes take weeks to pass when they go into the active dying phase. The ability to grant him a swift and painless death is a great thing.
Yeah.
And I think in treating humans, we've got a bit of a long way to go.
Oh, 100% agree.
Mm.
Fully agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a happier topic to talk about today.
Pets are always good to talk about, David. And like, I'm
Yeah.
sure many of our listeners will either have seen Mac or seen a photo of Mac or know of Mac because you have talked about him before
Mm,
and be feeling that love that you have for him. So,
yeah. We also know that many of you have dogs and cats who you also have within your treatment spaces, your home-based treatment spaces, who are important to you in that care and therapy. So if you are a dog or a cat or a bird or a goat person, can you imagine having a miniature goat in your studio? That would be pretty funny. Baby giraffe or something along
maybe.
those lines. Yeah. Pets and therapy, really good. Hey Jackie, we should get stuck into our topic for today, and I hope this doesn't make anyone upset. It's called. I'm sure someone will get upset because some people are just a bit sensitive about life. Um, so we've called today's episode "Touch is Older Than Medicine: A Short History of Massage and Bodywork."
I am so excited to talk about this topic, David. So excited.
As
And it
I
is. Touch is
was,
very old.
I was doing some research for this, and then Jackie pulls out these books and goes, "Look at these books that I've got, David, including not just a short history of massage, but a very comprehensive history of massage, including one beautiful-looking book around Australian First Nations and their
Yep.
massage and medicine."
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like Jackie, you need to tell people about this.
I'll add some pictures to the socials of the books that I have. But David, like I love a book. I haven't read every word in those books, but I do love a book. I will take any opportunity to purchase a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to open just with a very broad statement, I think,
Uh-huh.
because we get asked the question a lot of like who invented massage? And I think it's quite pertinent to say, Jackie, did you know that massage was probably, so I'll use that word probably because we don't know entirely for sure. Did you know
Sure.
that massage was probably invented everywhere? So massage and bodywork were probably almost certainly invented independently across all sorts of cultures, not necessarily simultaneously, but you think we're all separated by a lot of water, by a lot of land. Somewhere along the line, someone probably had to come up with the idea that if you rub something, pain changes. So
Yeah.
long before medicine became a profession, humans instinctively used their hands to rub sore muscles. Like we even do this without training now. It's like, I've had a bump. Quick, give it a rub.
Yeah.
We've used our hands to comfort illness. We've used touch to calm distressed children and to support people who are injured. And anthropologists generally believe that therapeutic touch predates writing, organized medicine, and probably even structured religion.
I would 100% agree with that. I do believe that touch is fundamental
Yeah.
to our health and happiness and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely fundamental. Yeah.
You see it in the way that we greet people, the way that we show love for each other. Yeah, it is a universal language.
Yeah. And touch doesn't have to be massage. That doesn't have to mean massage, but just
No.
you can't live without touch. And there's been so many studies on that as well. What does lack of touch do to the
Oh,
human psyche, to the human
yes.
body? Yeah, and it's all negative. All of it is negative. If you don't get enough touch, if you don't get any touch, it's all negative.
There was that really controversial study in Romania with the kids in an orphanage about
Yeah,
those who received touch and those who did not.
yeah.
The
Like back
results
in
of that
the
is heartbreaking.
yeah, yeah. Was it
And a
back in the
study,
80s or something?
yeah, that's right. It was really recent. And a
Yeah.
study like that would not pass ethics approval these
Oh
days.
God, no.
I think they didn't get approval at all. They just say, "Hey, let's do this study." It's truly awful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But they had, I think, part of the reason why they know so much about that is because they've done it before. I remember reading when I was studying massage about children during World War One and World War Two that had been orphaned, and because they don't have enough people to look after the orphan children,
Yes.
they're in an orphanage and they're getting looked after, but not enough to have proper one-on-one care that children need. They saw it then. So yeah, and I'm sure many people would have heard that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma at Flinders Hospital, she was a volunteer at Flinders Hospital for about 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Working in the maternity area. And she was one of these people that, as a volunteer, she hung out with preemie babies all day long and just held them.
Yeah.
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 She'd go in 3 to 4 times a week and just hold babies for hours at end.
Yeah.
And we know what the research says about that and the way their brains develop and how their bodies develop.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gosh, I just want to go and hug my children right now, David.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And if you're not into children, hug a pet.
Or yeah, hug your kitty cat or your puppy dog. Yeah.
Because we are tactile creatures. We respond to touch. Our brains and our nervous system, our skin, the intergeometry system is hardwired to respond to touch, both negatively and extraordinarily positively.
Yeah. Well, there's thousands of years of evidence across writings and pictures and hieroglyphics and things that show that people have been using touch for medicine for such a long time.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, actually, David, I don't know if you know that this is one of my favorites because you put this in the list. And I'm going to pronounce this wrong. So my apologies for pronouncing this incorrectly. But there's a relief, a picture, a carving or a picture, I'm not sure, in the tomb of Ankamor at Saqqara from what's that, about 4,000 years ago now?
Yeah.
2500 BCE.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if my maths is good there or not. But it actually depicts massage. And it's an amazing picture. And it's one of the oldest pictures of massage that you can find.
Yeah, specifically massage of the feet.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of my favorite pictures.
Yeah. And I just love that, like across cultures, we see the use of like oils and balms. Some of them have been medicated with herbs, like popping up for all sorts of ailments.
Do you remember, David, that I actually started my diploma in clinical aromatherapy? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I never finished it.
You were so close.
I was, and it's honestly one of the biggest regrets that I have, which is so silly. I would love to finish it, but I just don't really have the time. But I love hearing about this stuff and talking about this stuff because I love all of the different ways that we can look after ourselves. And it's not just, have a shower, wash your hair, eat good food. Like there's so many different ways of looking after your skin and looking after your heart and your psyche and getting massage and using aromatherapy. It's just, I love everything about it.
I think there's been a big rebirth of some of these things as well, and we're now starting to lean into the use of those natural remedies, whether they be for a medicinal purpose or whether it's more of a state of mind relaxation thing. Things like rosemary being people being beaten or rubbed with the leaves of oil coated rosemary, or the use of things like myrrh and frankincense, these really fragrant oils and spices. It's making a bit of a comeback, but those things have existed within the use of because ancient medicines for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, well, massage and aromatherapy wasn't alternative
Mm,
until recently.
yeah. And nor were they separate.
Yeah, it was just a way of looking after yourself, and
Mm,
some cultures had some aspects of each one were more important for different cultures. But
yeah.
yeah, like absolutely, it was a system, such a broad healing system. Yeah.
Yeah. And someone who had a wound, for example, could expect a compress of herbs to be applied to it from an antibacterial perspective. Someone would manipulate or rub the skin, knowing that that would be good for stimulating the body's own healing response. And whilst we would declare an open wound now to be a contraindication, and so it should be, we do know, and things like the use of, going off topic slightly, the use of maggots in clearing out old wounds. Science has now shown that so apart from the maggot eating the bad flesh and only the bad flesh, the movement of that creature on the skin stimulates blood flow and healing responses within the body. And it's like the little creature's giving
Yes.
us a massage, a maggot massage. You could market this now.
I'm just going to go and throw up, and I'll be right back with you.
Yeah. I think there's this very specific niche there.
Well, the same could be said for snakes as well. Hasn't there been somebody that's done that? That's put snakes on the body, and it's kind of a form of massage therapy? Or am I completely delulu and making that up? I don't think I'm making it up.
Oh, I don't know. I think you'd probably want to put that one in your consent form and have a box there. Like, are you scared of snakes? And that would be a contraindication if you are.
Oh my
It'd be
god,
like that
I'm
scene from
sure.
Indiana Jones where he falls into the pit of snakes and they all
Oh
slither over him.
god, yeah. There's
No,
a
thank
there's a
you.
there's a reason don't rewatch that movie. Oh my goodness.
Let's move along, Jackie. Because massage or a hands-on therapy has been described in Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years. The Neijing, so the Emperor's Yellow Book, was compiled in the second or third century BCE. Describes massage as part of medical treatment, a practice known as Anmo, and I think that's now been sort of translated to Anma or Taina. It involved pressing and rubbing alongside the use of acupuncture and herbal medicines and movement therapies. So massage was never separate from medicine in those cases. And before the formalization of what we now call TCM in the sort of 1950s, 1960s, it was something that was just passed down from healer to their protege.
Well, it was always my understanding, David, that TCM and the centuries and thousands of years of traditional Chinese medicine has been one of the sort of most comprehensive forms of medical medicine. That has sort of been anywhere. Like
Mm,
it covers everything. It is really comprehensive.
yeah.
So yeah, and it's fascinating to read about.
And what we now know as TCM came out as a state-based sanctioned medical style, but when people couldn't in China couldn't afford Western medical care, and this is one of those contradictions at a time when the West was embracing Eastern philosophy as medicine for the wealthy. The East was embracing Western medicine as medicine for the wealthy, and
It's
Western medicine
crazy.
in the West became medicine for the poor, and in the East, the TCM was developed for people who couldn't afford
Yeah.
medical care, and these clinics were established, just removing the whole spirit and religion from the understanding of the body. But a lot of information was lost as part of the Cultural Revolution as well.
Mm.
But yeah, reading up about the birth of TCM is a fascinating thing, and especially TCM making its way across into the West, particularly I think it was Nixon. Oh, was it Nixon visiting China, and one of his staff had an attack of appendicitis, and instead of anesthesia, he received acupuncture, and they took his appendix out with him fully awake, and then people
Oh,
gone, oh, maybe there's something in this.
I do remember that vaguely. Yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah,
not sure who it was, but yeah, I do remember that story.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and suddenly there was an interest of, oh, maybe it isn't oogie boogie stuff. Maybe there's something going on here that we just don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I would put forth that there's a lot we don't understand.
We actually have a whole other episode coming up about what we thought we knew, and turns out that we don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you ever had an Ayurvedic massage, David?
I have not, and I'm curious. I've eaten Ayurvedic food.
Oh, yes. India is an amazing part of the world, and they actually just, this is their daily healthcare. It's not something that you do when you get sick. It's something you do to prevent.
Yes.
Like that, their system is preventative, and it's
Yeah.
fascinating to read about.
Yes.
So interesting.
Like we're obsessed around cholesterol and those types of big markers, but Western health is based on being sick first.
Yeah. Yeah. How
Once it's broken, then we can fix it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons why I love massage so much, because you can use it to prevent becoming unwell in many instances, not for everything, obviously, but you can use it to prevent that breakdown of your body. So I just love it for that alone.
I think maybe 10% of my clients understand that, and the rest wait till they're broken. Then they come, put me back together again. I did the thing. So you know the thing hurts. I did it anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that maybe you could have just done a quarter of the thing rather than going at the thing full on?
Don't even get me started on that, David. I'm doing too much, and everybody knows it.
Like, I'm guilty as well.
Yeah.
But again, Ayurvedic medicine combines human movement. It combines diet. It combines those self-care things, and the use of those beautiful oils which are poured across the body, supporting circulation and relaxation and balance. And in India, and I know this is true in Japan and China as well, often children are taught massage techniques, and they would massage their elders, like their parents and their grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cultural tradition, I guess. It's part of how they look after each other.
Yes. And they pass the knowledge down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fascinating to see that done and to see how they care for each other. And then to relate that back to us, we just don't really do that here in Australia. We don't really do that at all.
No, not at all. Can you imagine coming home and your kids are like, Mum, it's time for a massage? They're like, yes, give it to me. Human-based touch as a therapy often pops up in European culture as well. And whilst there's no manuals about these things, historians believe that early European cultures like the Celts and the Druids, they likely practiced hands-on healing. And Roman writers describe these druids as healers who used herbs and ritual and physical contact in their treatments. And these traditions were passed down orally from, I guess, the shaman or similar to their protege, to their apprentice. And it was never written down. These oral cultures, they just don't produce textbooks.
That makes me really sad, and I would love to know, what knowledge are we missing? It would be just amazing to know that.
And where did it get lost? At what point did we become so civilized that we became uncivilized?
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing that I kind of, it really annoys me, and some people may relate to me on this. The word primitive, I actually really dislike the word primitive when talking about cultures that have come before us, or you know, whoever it might be. It could be any culture that you're talking about or any period of history, because they like that just sends such a negative connotation out into the world, in my opinion. And I'm like, but you don't know, like, because we didn't have the advanced ways that we can document back then. We just didn't have what we have now. But you don't know what we don't know about those cultures. So I like to think that people had such interesting and rich lives as we do now, and that they had all those beautiful oral histories, they had those stories, they had some amazing things happen in their cultures, but we just don't remember them.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway.
We'll talk about Australian Aboriginal understandings in a little bit further in the episode, but I remember learning about snakebite care when I was doing first aid, and in I guess many of Australian snakes, at least, that venom moves through the lymphatic system of the body. And Aboriginal people knew that if you're bitten by a brown snake, for example, if they buried you standing upright in a hole, so your head and neck is left exposed, so you can't move, so therefore your lymph system can't move as effectively, you are more likely to survive than if they tried to transport you. That they'll just bury you on the spot, come back to you a few days later, dig you up, and you will more likely or not have survived.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So at no point where they've gone, well, it's the lymphatic system and it moves through this series of passive movements of little anchors on these little valves. No, we just came up. It's not that we came up with it through knowledge. We've discovered these things. I remember a scientist quizzing. This is part of I think it was part of NAIDOC Week here in Australia, where the scientist was saying, "You Aboriginal people, you had no sciences and you couldn't advance and blah blah blah." And they're like, "Well, how do you think we got to the point of knowing that to eat that food it had to be cooked or steamed or ground first? Or how do you think we knew how to deal with these ailments and illnesses?" "Oh, but you didn't cure measles." "Well, we didn't have measles until white man came along."
They didn't have measles. Exactly.
We got to these things through trial and error, and then that knowledge was passed down. That's science. The word science literally means to understand or to know.
Yeah.
And all good science starts with a question.
Yeah. So, well, you're 100% right. Science is trial and error. It's figuring it out. Yeah. That is such a great point. I love it.
And if it goes bang, it's a really good science experiment.
I remember reading stories about, I cannot remember the specific dates or anybody's name, but scientists around the time of Marie Curie and other people, sort of 1800s, and like they would lick stuff.
Yes.
And they would poison themselves.
Yes.
Like,
read up on the history of the development of acid.
Yeah.
And other psychedelics. "Oh, I've made this thing. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think I'll take it myself." And then, because the difference between science and screwing around is writing it down, as the Mythbusters say. This pharmacist describes the lab chairs getting up and dancing around his lab. And then he cycles home having this psychedelic trip. So he writes about it in a journal, and all these professors write in to say, "I'd love to get hold of some of that." So he's posted around the United States. And then these professors have given it to their students without their knowledge. And then they've documented what happens. Again, ethics was a very loose thing back then.
Look, they were only hurting themselves. So
and their students.
Oh my god. But yeah, like they used to do that with all sorts of stuff, and they'd experiment on themselves. And I remember just watching a TikTok reel recently about Jonas Salk inventing the polio vaccine. He
Mm.
actually tested it on his own children before
Yes.
anyone else, and it
Yes.
worked.
Yeah,
He
fortunately.
Yeah, he was so sure that it worked. He tested it on his own family, and that, like,
Yeah.
you hear that story over and over again, and that's science, isn't it?
Mm.
We just are
Hmm.
much better at documenting it now.
Yes. Look, even the Bible describes oils and things being used for wound care. So there's references to physical wound care involving bandaging and manipulating and rubbing of things with these scented and fragrant oils, and even like the story of the Good Samaritan within the Bible. This injured traveler's wounds, they're treated, they're bound with oil, they're bound with wine. And there's other passages that mention wounds being softened with oil, or suggesting the early use of emollients in wound care, something which we are still doing today.
Do you know, I had actually forgotten about this, David. I remember the Good Samaritan story because I
Mm.
used to go to church when I was a youngster.
Yeah.
And I had actually totally forgotten about this, but you are so right. Like, there's a lot of talk about oils and wound care and all
Mm.
that sort of stuff in the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, some of those ancient things, rosemary and it comes up, and yeah, fragrant oils which are
Yep.
used as part of healing. And again, not separating the use of medicinal herbs from human touch.
Yeah. They didn't have the medicine that we have now, so there would
Mm.
have been a lot of preventative stuff as well as some amazing treatments that they had.
Mm.
Yeah.
And recognizing the humanity that's involved as part of personal care.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. There's so many different kinds of oils and balms and herbal salves in like every healing tradition through history.
Mm.
Animal fats, plant oils, different herbal preparations, softening the tissues, protecting the skin would have been a big one,
Yeah. Yeah.
because to protect the skin from mosquitoes and
Yeah.
the sun. Yeah.
Okay, as you know, we've just returned from a European holiday, and I brought back with me a massage balm from Switzerland.
Oh.
I couldn't read the label. It was written in three languages, none of which were English, and that's fine because I was not in an English-speaking country. But I did put Google Translator over. It was called Marmot Balm, and if you think of Tiger Balm, there's no tigers involved in Tiger Balm.
That's good.
And I just assumed that there'd be no marmots harmed in the making of marmot balm either. It turns out that they are, and that there's marmot fat in there as well as badger fat. Badger fat? Yeah, badger fat is in there,
Wow.
along with rosemary and mint and wintergreen and some of those other sort of heating and cooling medicinal
Yeah,
herbs.
wow. I imagine that is because of the proximity of the Arctic,
Probably.
and having to use the fat of animals to
Yeah.
survive. That's a thing that's happened for centuries and centuries and thousands of years. So
And again, in
yeah,
that sort of ancient use of animals, you use the whole animal.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't necessarily have gone out. We need more marmots. I need more marmot fat. I must have my massage balm. At least I hope that wasn't the case.
Oh my goodness. We'll have
It's
to
all.
add a photo if we can to socials for that, so everybody can
Yeah,
see that one, David.
yeah. I'm reasonably convinced that it's not vegan friendly.
If it's got animal fat in it, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Oh, that's all right.
yeah. But yes, those warming and cooling oils do pop up across all sorts of cultures, whether it be menthols or cineols or what have you, extracts from pine and
Yeah.
yeah, and eucalypts and thymes, and oh, there's so much good stuff out there.
Just making me want to finish my qualification, David.
Get onto it, Jackie.
I don't have time. Oh, I should tell you, I was going to tell you this earlier. I have actually organised all of my CPE for the rest of the year, and it's only March. So, like,
yay.
Go me.
Yes.
So I don't
excellent.
have time for any more CPE this year, David.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, did you know that ancient Greek physicians believed that rubbing the body could influence health?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Hippocrates, who we'd know for the Hippocratic Oath, which includes, amongst other words, do no harm, wrote that rubbing the body could loosen stiff joints and influence circulation. And he observed that different types of rubbing produced different effects depending on how they were applied. Isn't that interesting?
That is really, really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first documented case that suggests that there were some of like early attempts to understand the therapeutic effects purely of touch.
It is really interesting to think that some of these really amazing people back then, like they're so smart, and then they've just gone, you know what? I get my massage. I wonder how, what is it actually doing? How is that affecting my body? Like, it's just really interesting. I would have loved to have been privy to that information, honestly.
What we need someone here to do in Australia is to go, yeah, look, I always feel amazing after massage and I can move better and sleep better and my mood is better. How can I get this on Medicare?
Yes. It should be.
Yeah.
Well, that ancient Greece was really kind of the very beginning of Western medicine, wasn't it? Because everything sort of changed after that, and people wanted to know the why,
yes,
and the how of all of this stuff that was actually happening. They could see it happening, they knew it happened, but they wanted to really understand it.
Yeah.
So it was it's good that massage was a part of that.
How can it not?
What about Rome, David? What about ancient Rome? Oh, they did the same thing there, didn't they?
Yeah, they were everywhere, the Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were. I actually really love the idea of the bathhouse as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a, like, we just do not really have that at all in Australia. Like, it's really not a thing. It's such a European thing. But it wasn't just for cleaning yourself. It was for, like, it was a social thing as well. Yes. And it was for exercise and recovery after, that exercise and all of those things. It was a ritual of looking after yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they did for a living? Like, you hear about Roman soldiers. Like, what else did Romans do?
I know, right?
And philosophy. Like, they went to war and then they thought about things. They built some cool things as well.
They must have had some architects and engineers.
And food.
I would love to go back in time and just find out that information for you. If anybody has a time machine, please let me know.
So would have had metalsmiths and leather workers because they had those cool little dresses and things.
And people that knew how to dye cloth into different colours as well.
Yeah. They made amazing cloth, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Interwoven with gold and all sorts of things.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in a past life I was doing some of that because I've always loved fabrics. And I love the texture of different fabrics as well as, like, visually. So I think in a past life I was definitely some kind of weaver or seamstress or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back to these bathhouses. And I had a friend who went to Turkey recently, and he said it was on my list to go to a Turkish bathhouse. And he describes how you lay on those big hot plinths, and then someone tips a bucket of hot water over you and scrubs you with a stiff brush, and then he goes, and they pummeled me.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
this is amazing. So you've benefited from heat, and you've had your lymphatics stimulated by being brushed, and the old skins have been sloughed off, and then someone's
Yeah.
pummeled you. Like, sounds incredible. And you're all there naked with your friends.
I'm not super keen on the naked bit.
Yeah.
uh, um, you did mention also in our list of things we're talking about today, you did also mention Julius Caesar, and I had forgotten this story that apparently he used to have some kind of neurological issue. Like, they don't know if it was epilepsy or if it's something else. But
Yeah.
he used to actually get massage treatments for that.
Every day.
Yeah,
He had
I'd
a
totally
massage
forgotten that.
every day as part of his treatment. Yeah, I think it's widely reported that he had, or widely assumed that he had epilepsy. Some have now suggested that perhaps he had had a series of small strokes, TIAs, and that had caused some changes in him. But he used to get really vigorous massage as part of managing his health. And some have described that treatment as being rubbing of the skin and pinching and snapping treatments. Like, the details are quite a little bit uncertain, but the Romans were pretty good at documenting things.
Yeah,
And there is some written account of him receiving touch-based therapies as a daily thing to keep him moving.
that's really interesting. And just proves how awesome massage is for stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
And we went and forgot a lot of that stuff, and then decided that actually maybe it's a good idea, and you're seeing it start to reappear again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, you know how you used to go off for a spa treatment to the countryside? You'd go to the
yes,
beach
yes,
for the countryside. I would like to start doing that again
that would
myself,
be
David.
lovely. I'm really keen to go to an onsen in Japan,
Yeah.
in particular the onsens that monkeys sit in.
No. Please tell me you're joking.
Oh, they look so cute. You sit in the hot water, and there's monkeys, and
Oh
like
my
your
God.
head steams, and you're surrounded by snow and things.
Yes. That looks
Yeah.
amazing. I actually have some friends that went there, I'm going to say 2 years ago now, to Japan for the onsen. And the photos that I saw, just absolutely gorgeous. So gorgeous. Yeah. I would love to do that.
Yeah, but those spa towns, like, they were really early wellness destinations.
Yeah.
And throughout Europe, those spa destinations popped up in like the Alps and things. You'd go into a snow-covered area, and you would have daily massage, and someone would look after your gut health, and you would participate in stretching and bending and all sorts of things.
Yeah. The Swiss were
Okay.
known for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. And then it became exclusive. You had to have money to do that.
Like always.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
We're popping into, I guess, now contemporary understanding of massage in the West now, where if you're listening in the US, or you're listening in the UK or Australia, for example, then the fundamentals of what you've learned have probably been based on a system of Swedish massage. And I had a Swedish client once, and she asked me, "What sort of massage do you practice?" Like, "Swedish massage?" And she's like, "What's that?" Well, what do you call massage in Sweden? Massage.
That is so true. Just
And
that
so-
word has hung around, hasn't it?
It has hung around. I mean, it's actually no, the word, there's another episode. The origin of the word massage, I think, is Arabic, and it's been translated and literally means to knead like dough.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anything that doesn't involve that kneading action, strictly speaking, isn't massage. The trigger point
Wow.
therapy, myofascial release,
Yes.
lymphatics, all
Yes.
those things which you, as a massage therapist, we practice aren't strictly massage.
Yes. There is some interesting terminology questions.
Yeah.
When you start to look at it. Yeah.
But there'd been this exchange of, I guess, trade as people visited. Like Europe is connected by landmass to Africa and to Asia, and so people are moving through those spaces in all those directions. And Per Henrik Ling in the 19th century, so 19th century, we're talking 18 something, took ideas from a whole bunch of different cultures, and especially influenced by Asia, and he combined exercise and manual therapy, and those ideas grew to be what we would now call Swedish gymnastics. And notice it's not Swedish massage because it involves more than just massage. And that was then adopted by physicians, like the medical community.
Can I interject with a very interesting fact, David?
Yes, you can.
So one of the men who came after Ling, slightly later, and was a huge, I don't know what the right word is, like he was an advocate for the Swedish gymnastics and Swedish massage that Ling had really made very popular, was Dr. Kellogg.
Wow.
Who actually invented like the dry cereals like cornflakes and stuff that we know of. It's that Kellogg.
Wow.
He
no
loved
way.
Yeah, he loved the work that Ling had done because he was actually a medical doctor himself and was American. And
he brought us Cocoa Pops and Frosties.
Well, I don't know that Cocoa Pops specifically. Let's stick with cornflakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was just like massage and gymnastics went hand in hand back then. It was that because it was rehabilitation.
Yes.
But it was just everywhere. They used to do it in education facilities and also in the military facilities for like strength training and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting reading about it. Yeah. But I just thought I'd bring up Dr. Kellogg because that little tidbit sticks in my mind.
It's not a name that I would associate with massage at all.
Right? Yeah. He actually had I'm going to get the terminology wrong, but some kind of rehab spa somewhere in the US, and he was vegetarian, I think. And like they had people that come and stayed at the spa at the rehab place, and like, you know, they got physical health sorted, they got their diet sorted. Like, yeah, he actually looked after a lot of people. Very interesting fellow. Yeah.
How fascinating.
Yeah.
He was a nutritionist.
Yes.
And now the company doesn't stand for that at all.
Let's not get Kellogg's upset. All right, David.
All right. I'm sorry, Kellogg's. Please don't sue us.
Let's stick to what we know.
Yeah.
It's such a fascinating time in history because I think it was when massage became a lot more of a thing independently of other stuff, whereas beforehand it was just a cultural practice. It was something you did either preventative or rehabilitative. You did it as a part of your whole health system, but it then in the 1800s it started to go from being that to being an independent thing, and that also is a really interesting story as we're going to get to in a minute.
Yeah. And when we look at early videos, there are videos of Swedish massage from eras that are not now, and you can see some similarities of what you do, but it looked fairly intense, almost brutal.
Yeah.
Often the word Swedish massage is used to describe relaxation massage, but when you're busy being bent by a practitioner and pummeled and thumped.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily spring to mind that relaxation terminology.
Well, when you're taught about massage initially, you are taught about the different types types of Swedish massage, and I can't remember what they all are, but tapotement and kneading and petrissage, like
Yeah.
those can be quite rough and vigorous. And it
Yeah.
was very vigorous.
Yeah. All
But
of which are French words as well.
yes, we don't always do a ton of that. Like that's not something we have in our collective, I think, as remedial
Mm.
massage therapists. We don't go, I'm going to do some petrissage now. We're just
Yeah.
doing it, you
Yeah.
know?
Give me some of that
Yeah.
petrissage. Yes. Yeah, the standard strokes, effleurage, petrissage, department. And I remember in my foundations, like, and we're effleuraging, we're effleuraging, we're effleuraging, cross fiber frictioning.
I love those words, I have to say. They're such interesting words. They sound amazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
can we skip over to the Australian nurse Elizabeth Kenny, David? Can we do
She's
that?
amazing.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think it's important to sort of talk about.
I think that physiotherapists in Australia would recognise her as being one of the founders of modern physiotherapy too.
Yeah.
Mm.
She changed the perception of nursing for polio, which was, we're talking between the 50s, maybe 1950s, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it
earlier.
was just maybe. I'm not sure when she was around.
Yeah, Elizabeth Kenny, she was a nurse in polio treatment, and previous, well, I guess the original treatments was first of all isolation, where the truck would drive up to your house. My child has symptoms which might have presented as maybe some diarrhea, some joint stiffness, and things that understanding of typically people got a little bit sick from polio and some got really sick from polio, and those that got really sick
Yeah.
would go on to attack the motor function of the muscle, and that might be in say a leg, and then that nerve spindle would regrow over time. But a person who had a limb affected by polio might have one shorter or one very almost wasted away limb in comparison. If it affected, say, the lungs, then well, you just couldn't breathe on your own. But the typical treatment was first of all isolation. The truck would arrive and your child would be taken away from you and taken to an institution, and then you'd be put into splints if it was a limb, and you'd undergo a level of rehabilitation. And if it was your lungs, and you'd go into these big iron lung machines which would breathe for you, and you might stay there for forever for some cases. And she realized that maybe mechanical ways of treating people probably wasn't the best idea. So instead of braces and splints, she would use hot compresses, gentle movement, soft tissue work to relieve muscle spasm. And her approach was really influential in modern rehabilitation.
It is such a fascinating story.
Mm.
And I personally know some people that were influenced because they had polio by her practices.
Yeah.
So they had the treatment that she recommended.
I still work with some people who have what they call post-polio syndrome.
Yeah.
And polio was eradicated from Australia decades ago, but it still pops up in some other developing countries. And a person can go into remission, ensure they've got this physical disfigurement or limitation from the polio, and then maybe 20 years later it reactivates, and the pain and dysfunction returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that was, yeah, the start of what we'd now recognise as being early days of physiotherapy.
Yes. I wonder how many massage therapists in Australia would know that the Australian Massage Association, which, according to your notes, David, started in 1906.
Yeah.
Actually turned into the Australian Physiotherapy Association.
Not turned
later
into,
on.
they gave birth to it.
Yes.
So the Australian Massage Association stayed on, and they birthed the Australian Physiotherapy Association.
Yeah. We were together. We worked together for such a long time. It's
Yeah,
really interesting. I love talking about this stuff.
yeah. So it was where we really branched. Well, they branched away to be very rehabilitation and injury and symptomatic focused.
Yeah. Yeah,
As
and that
opposed,
was from because in World War I, we were training practitioners who treated injured soldiers from the war. So teaching people how to walk again after being injured,
yes.
how to use their body again,
Mm.
and that's sort of how that development happened over time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
particularly around amputees and rubbing of the limb and
Yes.
encouraging good healthy movement, and people who'd had horrendous injuries getting them up and moving again, and touch-based therapies combined with, well, you need to walk, so this is how you walk again.
Interesting.
And there, in many ways, massage therapists have, I guess, gone on to resemble the early days of physiotherapy. In some of the therapies that we practice, and physiotherapists have moved almost in current times to be almost anti-touch, as they work with very much movement-based therapy, which is all very evidence-based, and use and heavily using tools, but they seem to be losing that, what we as fundamentally understand to be necessary, that humanity, the laying of
Yeah.
hands on a person and the interaction of skin to skin, and the marvelous benefits that has, the way that we're programmed to respond.
Yeah. I have loved watching the changes happening in massage therapy over the decade and a half almost that I've been doing this. It's been so interesting.
One of the things that I've found fascinating, and this is coming back to TCM, and you know how so many people just want to crap on anything that comes out of the East because that's just what they want to do. I don't understand it, therefore it must be rubbish. And
Uh-huh.
as I've been doing studies around acupressure, this little factoid popped up, and it's not just a factoid; it turns out to be true. Is that there is a system called battlefield acupuncture, where they use ear seeding. There's little magnetic or magnetic studs which they put on parts of the ear as oricology. There's 5 specific ear points to either reduce pain within minutes for someone who may have been hurt. I just think that's fascinating that has come out of a
Yeah.
Chinese system, has been adopted particularly in the US, and is still used now as modern and field medicine.
Wow. I had no idea. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. That's just wow.
yeah, it's cool.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so much innovation that happens, unfortunately, because of loss of limb and war injuries and whatnot, but also because of uh, other injuries. Like there's a lot of innovation that happens because of sport in our
yes,
field as well.
yes.
Yeah,
Mm,
it is fascinating. That is the exact word. It is fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to mention a name to you now, Jackie.
Oh, go on.
John F. Kennedy.
Uh huh. Yes.
What's the significance of that name?
Oh, okay. We were.
Yeah.
We went to massage school around the same time ish. Do they
Really?
still talk? Well, I don't know. Maybe ish. I said
Oh
ish.
yes, oh yes. So you and I did, not Kennedy and you.
No, you and me, David. He died well before I was born. So there is that. I wonder, do they still talk about this at massage schools now? We'll have to ask somebody.
It should do.
Maybe. So the answer to your question, David, is that JFK apparently, I don't know this personally, but apparently he had a lot of clinical pain,
Mm.
and the wonderful physician Janet Travell actually worked on him and sort of developed trigger point therapy
Yeah.
on JFK as her, like, she was his doctor
Yes.
and treated him. And
Correct.
that's where our trigger point therapy Bibles come from,
Yeah, the
from
red
her
books.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the fellow's name off the top of my head that also worked with
Simmons.
her. Simmons, yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Simmons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the red Bibles.
Mm.
Are people learning about this in massage school today, do you think?
I don't know if they'd go into the historical context, but they're still certainly taught trigger point therapy.
We'll have to
Yeah.
find out. Somebody let us know.
Those books are so comprehensive,
Yeah.
like in mapping out trigger points throughout the body and the responses for dysfunction. And there's a whole bunch of theory in there as to how and why trigger points work, which has now been disproven's a strong word. But how we thought trigger points worked is now shown to be not correct. And now we think we might know something else, but we're not quite sure. So some of the naysayers said, "Oh, you don't even know how it works." Well, we feel the same way about anesthetics. We don't know how it works. But the fact that trigger point therapy can have such a profound effect, regardless of how we think the mechanism works or not, the therapy itself is still valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, honestly, it can be really difficult to explain some of this stuff.
Like complicated.
It is, yeah. It's just, and if you do not have the explicit language to be able to delve into this happens because of this and that happens because of that, and this is how the body actually functions. Like, I don't have that specific language.
Yeah.
So to explain it can be very tricky. So yeah it is complex.
Yes. Yes. But thank you, Janet Travell. Thank you, JFK. God rest your soul, for empowering this work, this life-changing work, which is still being used like 70 years later.
And you know what? When you think about what would have happened if that never happened, if Janet Travell had never treated JFK for his physical ailments that he had, where would we be? That is a huge question. Like, she was instrumental in a lot of ways.
And I don't know anything about where she had come from to where she was able to treat JFK. Or if she had never treated him, would she have stayed an unknown and her work would have been unknown? Like, that's, it is interesting. But thank you.
Yes. Yes. Huge thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is, you have mentioned the changes and the neuroscience. There's a lot of research now. We are learning a lot and hopefully unlearning a little bit as well about how, touch influences stress and pain and emotional well-being and changes. Touch can change the nerve fibers in your body and, all of these things. Like, there's a lot happening.
Like the importance of touch in trust.
Yeah.
And we know that people, and it's quite well studied, patients who trust their practitioner are more likely to have good therapeutic results.
Yes.
And touch is part of forming trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we know now that we don't use massage to break up scar tissue or break up adhesions. The science is quite clear about that. Now we still use that terminology for some strange reason.
Like the things we don't know about the brain is a lot. Yeah. I can't wait to know more. It's probably not going to happen maybe within my lifetime, but there's a lot of new research happening that is easy to get excited about. So I can't wait for some of that to happen.
In the 90s, there was a song that actually adequately described trigger point therapy and the role of the therapist in addressing trigger points. It went something along these lines, Jackie. Insane in the membrane, just replace membrane with fascia. Insane in the membrane, insane in the brain.
Oh my God, I was wondering what song you were going to say. I'm just having like an acid flashback right now. Oh my God.
If you're too young to remember that song, you need to look it up. It's quite catchy and it's very stupid. And now all trigger point therapy should be taught around that song. We love you, Raph.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
And look, I'm just really pleased that modern healthcare is rediscovering therapeutic touch, that is popping up in oncology units and palliative care and neonatal care and aged care, all these settings that recognize human touch. Because it supports comfort, it supports regulation and emotional well-being. All you massage therapists out there know that there's been thousands and thousands of years of cultures influencing what we do today. Massage has appeared again and again, not because it was invented once and spread by prophets. It was invented across all cultures and spread everywhere.
Yeah.
And wherever humans have experienced sadness or pain or illness or stress, someone has reached out and placed their hands on another person.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
I think we'll leave it there, Jackie.
I love what we do.
Yeah, I love it too.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We also love you guys. We love having you reach out to us and send us messages and tell us which is your favorite episode, and yeah, just love everything.
If you have enjoyed this or any of our other episodes, why not leave us a rating or a review through your favorite podcast listening app? You can find us on the socials through Facebook and Instagram. Why not leave us a message, either as a DM or drop us a comment on one of our posts? That would be amazing.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you, Jackie.
Bye, David.